Hello and welcome to the North American Guitar Show in London, and this is a first. This is a super exciting talking guitar session. Not one, not two, but three of the finest luthiers in the world on the sofa in from Sweden. So, Swedish Mafia, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Great to be here.
How was the journey? Good?
It was great, yeah.
Early flight, quick flight. So
Yeah.
And you came from Gothenburg and you
yeah.
both from Stockholm.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
That's good. So what was when you got a random email saying, "Hey, we're coming"? It was like, this is amazing. It was like, this is incredible under one roof. So when did you decide you were going to do this?
We talked a little bit, because you were delivering a guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought about just going to London, and then with...
And for me, I mean, I visited the old showroom quite a few times, but I've never been here. So
Yeah.
I mean, this just seemed like the perfect time to
Yeah.
spend some time with my friends.
Yeah.
And
Come see the showroom.
what do you think when you came down there?
Yeah, it's. I mean,
It is
wow.
like the mecca of Mondo guitars. Really,
Yeah.
truly.
That's what we want to hear.
I mean, when you walk down those stairs and this just kind of opens up, it's just really amazing.
Well, that
to
you know,
see
that,
all of these guitars and the work you.
I can't tell you how
Yeah,
proud
it's
that makes all of us
Yeah.
here, because when we found the space, it was such a moving. We'll talk about you in a minute with all of the moves that you've done this year. But when we moved, to lift up a shop essentially and move it, there's so much that goes with it. All of the Google stuff, and customers are so used to going there. And I've been searching for a while to find somewhere, and because we had to move out the old place because they doubled the rent.
Yeah.
And so when we found here, I remember walking down those stairs, and the guy that was showing me around was like, "Don't look too happy, because otherwise he's going to know you're definitely going to take it. You need to negotiate." And I was like, "Okay, if it looks okay." And in my mind, I'm thinking, "I've got guitars there, I've got guitars there." So it is a lovely reaction when people come down the stairs, because when they come to the doors, it's just it looks like this weird office, and then people are like, "Is this a guitar shop?" So that's really cool. So it's such a beautiful story. You guys, you were all at college together. You were taught by this masterful man right here.
Our mentor. But truly, we all love to do that.
What's it like to be a hero? But how awesome is that you form this friendship and this bond between?
It is pretty special because Ted and Tobias were both in my first class when I started teaching. When was that? Like 8 years ago or something? I think so.
8 or 9 years.
And then that to follow them through, from the start and see them develop these great careers. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that really, you must be very proud of that. Were they the naughty guys that sit at the back? Were you like, "Hey, I'm watching you two"? So do you find that you communicate with each other on a daily basis, having studied with each other? If you've got any things that you're like, "I don't know what I'm doing," or
constantly. I mean, almost on a daily basis, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
It's great to throw ideas around and see what the other guys think about them, and we know each other really well by now. So
we don't have to hide anything.
That's the best thing, to have friends that you don't have to be ashamed when you make mistakes.
Yeah.
You can just send a picture and they understand directly, and we can talk, be honest with each other.
I hadn't thought about that, but that must be because you spend so much time on your own, don't you? And it's such intense work that I can't imagine the emotional pull that it would have on you when something doesn't go quite how you planned it, or you were talking about how you sketched something out and you then taking it to the guitar. If it doesn't, to have a friend to say, "Oh, this is just happening," like, "Oh, don't worry, I did that last week." You must be like, "Oh, thank God,"
Yeah, that's definitely true. And also when you're sketching on things, you can get, have other eyes look at it, because we know we all have sort of the same sense of line, I think. It's like we can because when you sketch on something, you can go at it for times and times and times, and after a while it gets blurry, and then you can just get fresh eyes and
Yeah.
It's interesting you touched on the whole sort of the lines of your guitars, especially both of your instruments, because they stand out from a crowd, your instruments, and the lines of them are so beautiful. And I really think that there's this there's such a, people say the Swedish design, I mean, you guys are the Swedish design and creativity is dominating pretty much every market in the world, and the guitar market. And do you talk about the complexity of your designs, or do you sort of bounce ideas off of each other at all?
Yeah, I mean, I remember a couple of months ago when you were designing the double O guitar.
All right. Yeah.
And I remember you sent me a picture of it. Obviously, I replied, "It's amazing." I mean, and I've done the same.
Dare.
And I've done the same. I sent pictures of
Yeah.
guitars. And, what do you think? I mean, I always value your opinion, so it's good to be able to have that communication.
Mhm.
Yeah. And this year, just we were talking about moving into the showroom, and I want to touch on. So this year for you had to move shop twice.
Yeah, well, I moved shop twice in 2 years and had my daughter, so it's been 2 busy years.
Crazy busy years, yeah.
Yeah, but it's every time you move shop, you better things, and the new shop is really, really great. It's much bigger. Everything is really nicely set up. So yeah, I mean, smooth sailing from here.
It looks so beautiful. The picture you put up.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was on Facebook, and everybody was jumping in. And I was like, amazing!
Everybody's jealous of Ted's new shop.
It looks so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really lucky, and my last shop didn't have windows, so in this new shop I got 20 windows, and I'm really happy about that. So.
There was actually a lot of similarities to when I saw the photo of Michael Greenfield's.
Okay,
because Michael's is in a kind of I wouldn't say it's a warehouse building, but it's sort of an old industrial building.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, and he's got these beautiful big windows. There's loads of natural light, and it's just that. The
windows in different directions, so I get the light just right as well.
That's And we just did a tour with. I would love to next year. I was saying to all of you next year, I'd love to come over to Sweden and come and see all of the shops, because I think it's such a nice thing to. We were talking about that social media, that kind of in your own environment. It's very different than sitting on the sofa in the middle of London in a dealer. It'd be great to see how because the processes, I'm always fascinated with all of your individual processes and how you tackle each thing individually. And I really, just touching on Jason again, having done a shop tour with him, it's astounding.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really good interview.
It was fun. We all love Jason.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful human being he is. I think from our point of view, we're obviously incredibly humbled when an instrument turns up, like both your guitars turn up today, and it's just like, wow. But to actually see it in the shop and how it's being built and your processes, that's just amazing. And the level of detail. Actually, how do you, when you first set up all of you individually, did you, again, I'm talking about this communication thing, but did you get advice on how to set up your shop, or did you set up with a plan, like this is how I want it to be? Or
I was lucky enough. My first year, I think, or half year, I rented a space in your shop.
That's true. Yeah, right.
Which was super great for me, because then there was like the machines and all the stuff like that was already there. So for me that was great. I could just get going directly after school. And to be able to still share ideas with each other was super great. So I've learned a lot from that experience as well. When I set up my own shop a couple of years later.
I think each time you move shops, I'm on my 4th shop, I think, and each time you move out, you know what you don't like from the old shop, and then you change that. And have an idea of what you think will work, and then you try that, and then it's time to move again, and then you can get a new chance. It's like when you moved, it's like it was a good thing that you were forced out of that old space, because everything got so much it was a painful process, but everything got so much better from it.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like the thing you were saying about shows, preparing for shows. When you know you've got a deadline, when you know it's what did you call it? When you have a strict deadline, sharp deadline. Yeah. When you know you have to move, or something's got to be done. There's something that I think in human nature that is instinctive, that makes you just get it done. And sometimes I think we'll know this from being fathers as well, but you get a sense where after it's done, you're like, oh wow, did I do that? You know. And then moving in here, it was like we took all the wall hangers off of the old place on the 22nd and moved everything on the 23rd here. And afterwards, we're like, oh well, we did that. You know.
Well, yeah.
And so you were talking. There's a Swedish show that you're exhibiting at this year.
Yeah, I think so.
Is this an old show, or is it something that's been going for a while?
It's been going on for 12 or 13 years.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's a show in Gothenburg.
Yeah,
it's in your hometown.
Yeah, exactly.
So
actually, my workshop is
quite close.
Kilometer, I think, from the
That's
show.
usually the only time I get to see you during the year, like face to face.
Is he waving from one of his many windows?
Exactly. Because I usually go to the show just to like look at what people's doing, and but this time I think I'm going to exhibit there, and it's a mixed show with both electric and acoustic guitars, and it's a good show.
So just talking. So you're obviously you've primarily been focusing on your electric guitars this year. Was that a conscious thing? You thought, I want to just focus on this and hone your brand in that direction for a bit.
Yeah, a little bit, because I mean, an archtop is such a big project when you start it, and it's going to take a long time, and I mean, I put equal amounts of love into each of my builds, but some of the electric guitars is of course faster to build, and so you can do more of them and get like work more on your consistency, and I mean, I
guess refining as well, technique, speed.
Exactly, and it's also what I love about electric guitars is you can have quite a lot of creative freedom to use different types of pickups and different types of covers of pickups, and it's so it's, if you get an idea, it's not that far from the idea to the reality of it, you know. So I wanted to focus on that a bit.
Yeah, well, I'm super excited about the guitars we're lining up for next year. Sweden, Scandinavia has such a vibrant music scene, especially from the songwriting point of view, and just creativity in general. Growing up in Sweden, did you find that, I haven't really asked any of you of what your influences were, and did any of you have a path to music? Were you thinking of going down like the musician route? Because I know some luthiers have. Well, Jason was one, phenomenal guitar player. At all?
I mean, I guess we all started from a musical background, or at least a musical interest. I mean, I started playing the guitar when I was 14, and never took lessons, but self-taught. And my father collected guitars. Not super high-end, but he had a few nice Taylors and PRSs and some Gibsons, and so that kind of got me interested. And I don't know, I mean, after a few years I kind of realized that okay, I'm never going to be a professional guitarist, but maybe there's something else.
That's I think that's just the way it is. It's like I know I want to be around guitars, but I'm not talented enough to go down the guitarist route, but I'm just fascinated with this thing, and
the history behind
and then realizing that somebody could make a guitar, that was like mind-blowing. Like, can you really make this thing? And so and then when you do one, there's no going back.
I wanted to be a rock star. I mean,
but
still kind of do.
You played in a band for many years, didn't you?
I mean,
you're the most successful musician of us all.
You gave up last.
Exactly. But I think this is a pretty good plan B.
Yeah,
it's definitely my plan A now.
And he's the only one with a good voice.
So. Really? We'll have to do a little jam. Yeah, no, it must be such an incredible feeling when you deliver an instrument to somebody and they play it for the first time and you get that feedback.
Yeah.
Is that what you strive for? When you hear, we talked about the first time a client plays a guitar at a show, how important it is to have the setup just right so that they connect with it. When you hear one of your instruments either demoed, like for example here by one of our artists playing it, is that what it's all about for you when you hear that?
That's the reward, sort
That's
of.
the reward.
Yeah, it's incredible because for me, I'm not a great player. I play a little bit, but it's to actually hear somebody play it and push it to its limits. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're essentially we're building tools to make music with, and at the end, it's like the music's what it's about, and so that's definitely the reward and what really makes you want to keep on pushing. I think. I
sit here and I listen to you guys talking, and I just think how lucky we are to do what we do. Honestly, I can't thank you enough from all of us here at North American Guitar for allowing us to represent your brand, because delivering an instrument to somebody for the first time and getting the feedback from them, because buying a bespoke instrument is a big challenge for for the mindset of a customer, and that there's that sort of I think it's the fear of the unknown. Am I going to like it? Is it going to do what I want it to do? And so the communication that we all have, clients, luthier, and us, that when it delivers, we know, because we know how great you guys are, what it's going to be like. But to hear it from them for the first time, to get that reaction, and then to have clients like Christopher and to call up and say, I love it so much, I want to order another one. That is just, you just can't describe that, can you? So anyway, I don't want to get too gushy, which I do tend to do. But from all of us here at North American Guitar, thank you so much for coming today, and also for allowing us to represent your wonderful brands. I'm going to do individual handshakes. We're going to do group hugs after a few pints. So, for more information on the finest hand-built luthier instruments, then please do subscribe to this channel. And for more information on the Swedish Mafia, please do get in touch.